Hello, play the game, this is Rowan, and today I'm going to be doing an overview of the 4th Horseman, which is an exotic shotgun in Destiny's Dark Below DLC, currently exclusive to the PlayStation systems. And the reason I'm making a video on it is I've got a problem with a shotgun, not as a weapon in unto itself, because on its own it is a decent shotgun, it is a good shotgun definitely for Crucible, okay? I've got no problems with it as a shotgun. But as an exotic shotgun, I feel it's quite bad, quite below par, and should receive a buff in the future. So to show you my point, first let's look at the perks of the 4th Horseman. The first perk which you have by default is Thunder. The weapon fires in full auto mode and is the Horseman's only unique perk to it. I say unique as in other shotguns have full auto, but this is the only skill that has a name unique to the 4th Horseman, so it is considered the 4th Horseman's unique exotic perk. Then there is Final Round, the last shot in the magazine that does additional damage. Then the 3 center perks, increased stability, increased range, or increased reload speed. Of the 3 I find that increased range is your only viable option, because the 4th Horseman naturally has high stability for a shotgun, but the problem is that it has very low range by default, and if the shotgun can't hit enemies at range with damage, then there is no point in controlling it, because what is the point in being able to accurately shoot an enemy if the only way you're going to be able to physically damage them is by ramming the barrel down their throat, as it is when you first unlock the 4th Horseman, because it spawns with the lowest range of any weapon in Destiny. So upgrading the range I feel is the only viable solution to the shotgun. Finally, you have Return to Sender. Kills add additional shots to the magazine, or you would believe it to be so, but the perk description is misleading. It does not add shots to the magazine on every kill, it has a 5% chance to return shots per kill. That is not reliable in any way, as on average you will not get a shot back every magazine. So its effect is very niche, very RNG dependent, not reliable, and all in all, just bad. But putting that one perk aside, the 4th Horseman overall is a very good shotgun. It has a decent magazine, very high fire rate, and is an excellent Crucible weapon because of the amount of sheer DPS you can put down range as fast as possible. It's one of the exotics that is very bad when you first unlock it because its range is so abysmally low, but fully leveled, it is a perfectly fine shotgun that you can use to just tear about the Crucible. And for a regular legendary shotgun, that would be perfectly acceptable. But the 4th Horseman is an exotic shotgun, which I believe should put it in a tier above. But it's not in a tier above, as I will show to you by comparing its stats to the Black Chasma Esc or Esc. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's the normal blue Crucible shotgun, which you can unlock randomly after completing any match. Comparing the two, the Chasma has a marginally higher fire rate, and I say that in every sense of the word. It is truly marginal, you will never notice the difference, but it is higher technically, even though the 4th Horseman was advertised as the fastest firing shotgun in the game. It's technically not. Chasma's higher. After that, the Horseman has marginally higher impact and range, so it does slightly more damage than the Black Chasma. But I emphasize again, this is marginal. In the game, you will never see a difference between those two. The fire rate, the impact, the range, they're practically identical. The last 3 perks are where the difference lies. The Horseman has much higher stability, as I said, than the Chasma, but the Chasma has a much higher reload speed, in that it instantly reloads its magazine, but the Horseman is badly hurt by how desperately slow its reload speed is. In a fight, after you've emptied the magazine, the Chasma will be up and running in mere 1 or 2 seconds, straight up for the next fight. The 4th Horseman will take about 4 to 6 seconds, depending on your other perks, to reload itself, which is the difference between like 1 and 6 seconds in the Crucible is, it's a year. Especially in the kind of close ranges that you fight at with shotguns, you're going to be killed with the Horseman's reload speed, no doubt about it. But it's very unlikely you'll be caught out by the Chasma's reload speed. If anything, you'll catch out enemies because they'll see you reloading, think they're safe, but they won't be. It reloads really fast. The Horseman does have a larger magazine of 5 rounds compared to the Chasma's 3, but even though 3 is quite small for a shotgun, the Chasma very rarely suffers from it because its reload speed is so fast. And again, the Horseman, when your main unique perk about it, the one that's going to be giving you the most utility, is the final round does more damage, larger magazines aren't always better. But all in all, there is no other way to put this. In the Crucible, which is the natural home of shotguns, you can use them in PvE, but the Crucible is where they're at their strongest. The Black Chasma, the blue shotgun, it's just better. It puts out equivalent DPS to the 4th Horseman, an exotic shotgun. At most ranges, the Horseman's increased stability very rarely comes into any benefit over the Chasma, and your downtime between fights is so much lower because you're not caught in the middle of a reload. You just top up and go. In the regular Crucible, there is no reason to use the 4th Horseman over the Black Chasma. A blue shotgun is better than an exotic one. Now of course you might say that it's one thing to compare the two in the Crucible, where all things are equal and it doesn't really matter about what rarity it is, but in the Iron Banner or the Trials of Osiris, where things really matter, the 331 attack Horseman is just going to blow away the 242 attack Chasma. And that is true. Just by default of being an exotic, the Horseman will perform better in these competitive scenarios. But you see, I have a counter to that, because the Black Chasma has a legendary variant, the Vanguard shotgun, the Secret Handshake, which has 331 attack, same as the 4th Horseman. It has the same attributes and statistics to it, like fire rate and impact and all of that, as the Black Chasma. It is a very fast firing shotgun. It can spawn with full auto, so you can use it at its full ability in the Crucible. It can spawn with flared magwell, so it reloads just as fast as the Black Chasma. It also even has a larger magazine, so it doesn't suffer from the tiny round as much as the Black Chasma, and can spawn with another perk as well, of course, because rare shotguns can only have one fixed and then one rotation of 3. As a legendary, it can spawn with a full auto, the flared magwell, and you've got another perk on top of that, such as Grenadier or Final Round, like the Horseman. The Secret Handshake is literally a Black Chasma with another perk slot and more damage in these competitive events where attack is enabled. So, again, it outperforms the exotic shotgun, the 4th Horseman, in literally every way. Even more so now that it has something like Final Round equipped to it. And unfortunately, it gets worse, because now we're done with the comparison of the exotic shotgun to normal shotguns. But we're not done. Let's have a look at how the 4th Horseman measured up with its exotic special brethren, the Invective. The Invective has a slightly lower rate of fire, but it has more impact and range, so DPS inside the magazine is comparable. And again, typically, the Invective has lower stability than the 4th Horseman, but it has faster reload speed. But it's going into perks where things get interesting. Both the Invective and the 4th Horseman have the same default ability, fires in full auto. They both have that equipped by default. The difference is that for the Invective, it's just the standard perk, okay? Its name and description is the same as any other shotgun that has that a perk. It just has the benefit of having that equipped by default. On the 4th Horseman, it is the gun's unique perk, Thunderer. Normally that denotes the thing that makes that exotic unique, which is the point of an exotic, that it's a unique weapon. But not only is its effect the same as any normal shotgun perk, its effect is completely identical to something you get for free with the other exotic shotgun. It's not unique. It's not more full auto than the Invective, so why does it get the classification of being a special perk? Moving on, they have the same first perk, Last Round, but of course it's more useful on the Invective as it is a smaller magazine and more damage, so it comes out more often and makes a bigger difference. Also, the Invective's faster reload speed means that loading shells one at a time to maximize damage per ammo, it's more viable, let's just put it like that. They both have extensions to range and stability in their perk choices, and for their second fixed perk, well, it's either the 4th Horseman's generic and bad 5% chance to not consume ammo on a kill, or the Invective's unique perk, regenerate ammo over time. That's not even a choice. No one would choose the 4th Horseman. And that is the brutal truth. There is no reason to use the 4th Horseman over the Invective at all. No reason. Unless for some reason you're on a weekly heroic or nightfall strike and arc burns active, in which case obviously the Fourth Horseman's better because it's the right element, but in that scenario, why would you even use a shotgun? But that isn't even my main problem with the Fourth Horseman. Yes, it's worse than loads of other shotguns. Most of them, in fact, but my main gripe with the Fourth Horseman is that it's not unique. Every other exotic weapon or armor in the game has something unique to it. Even the No Land Beyond has its the Master perk, which arguably is not useful, but it's unique. But the Fourth Horseman is nothing. It doesn't fire the fastest as advertised, it doesn't outperform other shotguns in any meaningful way, it doesn't have any unique perks to it that something else doesn't have, and the perks it does have aren't even an ideal roll on a shotgun. There is nothing exotic about this weapon. As I said at the start, I'm not saying that it's a bad weapon. On its own, sure, it's going to be a decent crucible weapon, but why would you use your exotic slot on such a mediocre weapon? Why wouldn't you just equip a Black Chasma or a Secret Handshake or any other full auto shotgun and save your exotic perk for something meaningful? Maybe you can leave a comment below if you think you have a reason why the Fourth Horseman is justified as an exotic weapon over the other examples I've given, but for the life of me, I just can't see it. And how would I fix it? Well, it's difficult to say. Balance is a tricky thing in a game like this with so many different weapons and people complaining all the time. It's easy to be washed away, but I would say make the Thunderer perk just full auto like the Invective. It is the same, but it's the same already, so no harm done. And replace Return to Sender with a perk where if you reload one shell, it fills the entire 5-round magazine. At least then it has some good long run DPS potential because you have a relatively slow reload speed for 5 shells, because with other shotguns, the bigger the magazine, the longer the reload. But with the Fourth Horseman, you can have a big magazine and a quick reload. It could be a powerful combination. As it says in the description, this isn't a holdout weapon, it's a pathfinder. So let's give it some good aggressive stats to make it just that. So this has been Rowan. I hope you enjoyed this overview of the Fourth Horseman and other comparable shotguns in the Crucible. I hope you enjoyed it, and please comment because I really want to know what your thoughts are on this. One person's view on balance is always very different to another, so I want to see all the different arguments and pros and cons and anything I might have missed, because again, I'm only one person, and if you need some more footage to base your opinion on, I have full gameplay of all the Crucible games of which the highlights were featured in this video on my own channel, of which there is a link in the description below. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave a like if you do so, and subscribe to Play the Game Central for more. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.